Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is Fleecydale Farm, and today we're working on our John Deere 520. We're going to be adding a pre-cleaner bowl assembly to this tractor for the air intake. Now, when this tractor was brand new and left the factory back in the late 1950s, it did not come with one. It looked exactly how it does now, other than there would have been a blank sheet metal plate that blocked off this hole. Shortly after, one was actually added to this tractor, and it did spend most of its life here on the farm with a PreCleaner stack. Roughly 10 to 15 years ago, this tractor was actually rolled, and when that happened, the muffler and the air intake stack were both destroyed. So it spent its last 10 or 15 years here just taking air in through the standard opening in the front of the grill here. I purchased a reproduction kit that included the stack itself as well as the pre-cleaner bowl. So as you'll see here, there is an opening in the sheet metal. So from the factory, there would have been a knockout plate in here, basically a thin sheet metal plate that was tack welded, I believe, back in, or just had the cutout and a few tabs holding it in there. And whether or not you upgraded it yourself or took it back to the dealer to have them install it, they would have punched that plate out, allowing access into this cover here. And that's where the PreCleaner stack comes up through the hood. These tractors have an oil bath air cleaner. You can see the housing here for the filter. And we'll show you now on the John Deere 730 how the air intake works. If you do not have the PreCleaner stack assembly, there's a blank cover plate that goes here to seal this opening. The air is brought in through this pipe at the front of the tractor, which is only screened by the screen on the grill, so it's only blocking really coarse particles, sticks, grass, straw from even entering the system. So the air is drawn in here, passes through this tube, enters the oil bath air cleaner here, where it is then filtered and cleaned. It exits out of the back down to the carburetor. Whenever you install a pre-cleaner though, in order to change your airflow direction, there's an insert that you put into this which blocks off this pipe at the front. So this pipe's no longer in use on this tractor. It still stays on there, and now the air path comes in through the pre-cleaner bowl straight down through and is cleaned like that. Here's a quick look at some sales information for the 30 series. Now some of this does apply to the 20 series. The first option back in the day was an air stack assembly, which looks like a John Deere A or B style air stack. Basically just got the air intake higher off the ground, away from the dirt and dustier conditions. The second option, which is what we'll be installing today, is the true pre-cleaner attachment that has the clear bowl at the top. And that was better for filtering out larger particles like sand, dirt, and other larger objects before they even got to the main air intake. The first thing we have to do is remove these 4 cap screws which secure this cover plate. We have all 4 cap screws loose. So we'll go ahead and take those out. We'll try to knock off some of the dirt and grease. All right, all 4 of the cap screws are out, so we can remove this plate now. Be careful not to drop it down inside of there. So it's just a little flat plate that blocks off the airflow. There is a gasket on this one, and it should be the same gasket that we need for the stack. The kit that I purchased came with the stack as well as the pre-cleaner bowl. I had to order this part separately. This is the Blockoff tube or pipe that gets inserted down into this first. And this is what seals off the air coming in from that front pipe, like I showed you on the 730. This pipe fits well in the tractor, so in the actual air cleaner housing, Fits very well. It's a nice tight fit. It does stick up roughly 1/2 inch beyond the gasket here. But what I questioned is how this part fits up to the stack that I bought. Here is the PreCleaner stack that I ordered. As far as I can tell, it's made just like the original ones were. The base is a casting, and that's welded to this tube. The casting does have the original John Deere part number cast into it, which is nice. The base is machined flat, but the part that I questioned was, whenever I got this in, I realized that this inside bore was not machined. It's just a rough casting. This block-off tube does not fit into there. I believe the original ones would have been machined on the inside, so this tube had a nice snug fit to be airtight. There's still a gasket on this surface, but I'm thinking this should be a nice snug fit into here. So that's one issue I found. I need to address that here in the future. Again, this video is just a fit up video to check everything out, see what other kind of surprises we have, or if we need to buy anything else. So let's go ahead and we'll get the stack bolted onto the tractor. So the PreCleaner stack is not symmetrical. As you can see, the main tube and the bottom, they're offset from the center line of the bolt holes. There's a view from the other side. So how these were installed, they're to be offset to the outside of the tractor, so away from the muffler. I might have an issue getting this in here, but we're going to go ahead and try. It's tough because the sheet metal is a little bit deformed. There it goes. So that goes in there like that. That's roughly where it's going to be. So it looks like it does clear the hood pretty well. We'll go ahead and get our bolts in there just to do a fit up. And as I said, the offset should be to the outside. You can see it's sort of flush on the inside, but it has this step out to the outside. And we had to get longer bolts to go through the stack now. We'll install these cap screws just hand tight for now, but they will get a lock washer whenever I go to actually install this. Okay, we got our 4 cap screws in. They didn't bottom out, which is a good thing, and we still have to put our lock washers under there anyway at the final installation of this. So we're ready to put the PreCleaner bowl on next. I was impressed with the PreCleaner bowl that came in this kit. It's a Donaldson bowl with a metal top and a metal base, which is nice. A lot of them now you see are actually plastic. Has the correct nut style on top for tightening the cap. So we'll go ahead and put this on now. I think it looks good. It gives the tractor a whole different look. Okay, we have the PreCleaner bowl on now. As you can see, it is a little bit loose on the pipe, but I believe after I would paint this, it should be okay. If not, I can always add a thin seal around this. John Deere actually offered another option, and that was the pre-screener. So the pre-screener was an attachment that mounted right about here and had a fine wire mesh screener on the outside. So the air was drawn in through that screen and up into the PreCleaner bowl where all the heavy particles would settle out. Then it was drawn down through the tube as we talked and into the oil bath air cleaner. In the future, I would definitely like to purchase one of those and add this to this tractor. I think it just gives it a whole different look again. And our 2730s have those. I've always liked them. Well, we still have some work ahead of us. We still need to have this casting machined so we have a nice snug fit on that block-off tube that goes down inside of this. We still need to tighten up this connection with a seal or some kind of ring around this. Nothing's ever really plug and play anymore with these older tractors and reproduction parts, but that's what keeps it interesting. That's what keeps it fun. It's always a challenge. Hope to see you back here again. Thanks for watching.